Welcome, welcome, welcome to Hermetically Speaking with your vessel, Toria, transmitting alchemy, mystic psychology, and channeled messaging for all of our days. Here, we explore the sacred, the shadow, and the infinite spiral path of awakening, so you can remember who you are beneath the programming and rebuild yourself from the inside out. And as always, go back to episode 1 for my disclaimers on mystic psychology and the fact that I am not a medical professional, and everything I speak on is through experience and an energetic standpoint rooted in the ancient wisdom of Hermeticism. Therefore, if you are seeking medical advice of any kind, please consult a licensed professional. And welcome back to Hermetically Speaking with your vessel, Toria, transmitting alchemy and mystic psychology for all of our days. Today is episode 22, Magical 22, and today we're entering a space that lives beyond the surface. A space that asks you to look at your deepest beliefs, the ones that shape your cells, your energy field, your destiny. What if I told you that the greatest medicine you will ever take isn't sold in a bottle? And it doesn't come from an external healer, a shaman, or a doctor. What if it was something you carry inside you every single day? We know this on some level. The placebo effect shows us that a sugar pill can cure a disease when the mind believes it's the real thing. And it's more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a glimpse into the sacred architecture of our consciousness. Your beliefs, the real ones, not the ones you recite because they sound good, shape your immune system, your capacity to regenerate, your very ability to stay alive and thrive. Which is why shadow work, neuroplasticity, and all of the things that we are doing are so vitally important. This is why being faithful to yourself, to your own creatrix, that creative spark within you, is the ultimate act of healing. Because it's not just about positive thinking or good vibes only. It's about an unfiltered, unedited relationship with your fears. The more honestly you face your fears, the more you filter through them, the more you transmute them, the more space you create for new beliefs to root. We think we're protecting ourselves by ignoring or bypassing our fears. And really, we're feeding them. They thrive in the shadows. They multiply when unacknowledged. Your beliefs, on the other hand, can be as diverse and vast as your own soul's journey, your lifeline. Whether your beliefs are in God, Source, science, the divine feminine, the cosmic grid, it doesn't matter what the form is. What matters is the power and purity of your faith in them. You can believe that your body is capable of regenerating from cancer. You can believe that you are worthy of complete healing. You can believe that your cells can listen to your voice and shift in harmony with your soul's intentions. And this is not about blame. It's not about you caused your illness because of your thoughts. It's about inviting your beliefs into your healing process as partners and allies. Because what happens when the day comes that we see more and more that we ourselves are to blame for the dis-ease riddling our world? The mental, emotional, and physical. The tips of the icebergs are already protruding. The gleam of the sun is melting them down to advance the knowledge within. And whether it's physical creations causing dis-ease or how we think and treat one another, it all starts and ends with us. And that starts and ends with thoughts, manifestations, and what we create in reality, and therefore we can absolutely do the same with healing. If we filter through the fears of, what if I speak this and then I don't completely heal myself? Or what if I can't heal like that person? Or what if I can't heal at all? Or what if I just make it worse? We make way to understand that we're not that special that we would be excluded, and we're not here to be punished unless we're satisfied with punishing ourselves, which I'm not, and I'm sure you're not either. And we're not here to live lives of dis-ease any longer. We're here to begin the road to freedom, to trudge the new ideas and look like we might be slightly crazy for even suggesting it. I have physically healed my body in ways I never would have known possible prior to doing it. And what's crazy is I called the disease in over 20 years ago to protect me. Just like being overweight can be a protective measure from unwanted attention after suffering from any form of abuse. Dis-ease is something that is just doing its best to aid us at times. It's trying to scream the dysregulation and disorganization from the organic ways our bodies and minds are capable of being. It's interesting, organized, and organic are pretty much the same word letter, wise, same word letter wise, and that dis, the etymology of it, means apart, away, or lack of. So dis-ease, disorganization, disorder means we have moved away, are lacking, and have separated ourselves from the organic order of our natural blueprints. And as we talk about these words and experiences, I want to bring in the tools, the modalities that can help us create this level of neuroplasticity, because that's what it always comes back down to as of right now, right? Like that's the highlight of what this spiritual journey is all about. Tools that have helped me achieve the freedom I now fully get to embody daily. Because ultimately, this journey is about rewiring ourselves, literally and energetically, and my experience is a pathway for not only myself, also others. And while my pathway may not be the same as yours, we are all here to learn from one another. Neuroplasticity is the brain's beautiful ability to rewire, to build new pathways, to let old connections atrophy and new ones thrive. And you don't just have to think your way into these changes. You can move them, feel them, sing them, breathe them into existence. And you will continue to hear me speak on this topic because it is one of the keys within a spiritual journey. In some ways, neuroplasticity is the journey itself. This is why modalities like meditation, breathwork, sound therapy, movement practices like yoga or ecstatic dance, somatic experiencing, and even hypnosis and regression work are so powerful. Tarot and oracle and astrological readings reiterate a chosen divine path, even if it's explaining your trials and tribulations, which therefore enhance your magic, allowing you to reaffirm that you are a sovereign being, just like all of these experiences that I've named. They don't just help us to relax. They open up the gateways of the mind-body field so you can consciously choose a new story. When we engage with these types of tools, we become active architects of our own inner landscapes. We start to catch the old thoughts as they surface. We repattern the emotional responses, and we become aware of the subtle ways we have been living on autopilot. And we reclaim our sovereignty over those programs. It's one thing to understand this on a mental level. And it's another to feel it in your bones, to witness your nervous system respond differently, to feel your cells sing back to you in harmony. And that's why this is a holistic process. Your mind, your body, your soul, all working together to create the most potent medicine there is, the medicine of your own consciousness expressed through every cell, every breath, every belief. And while we're talking about healing, let's not forget that the medical industry can absolutely be an ally on this path, right? Anything that you are drawn to can be an ally, a symbol of moving forward on the journey. Remedies, herbs, these are 100% the original medicines of humanity. They can teach and aid our bodies and minds in the rewiring process. And the reality of it is, when I get an ear infection, I absolutely steam an onion and put it on the side of my ear. And guess what? It's healed in no time, like less than 12 hours. Might have a little bit lingering the next day, but I have gone from oh my gosh, I just want to rip my ear and throw it out, to the next morning being perfectly fine. So there are amazing natural healing modalities that can aid us on our journey, because all of this has to happen in steps. But what we're doing is we're integrating these belief systems, the understanding, because we think, oh, what if the body could just heal itself, right? Like, that'd be so cool. Oh my gosh, haha, yeah, imagine that. Don't imagine it, live it. Anchor it in, right? Anchor that consciousness in. So that way, our children, their children, the children after that, all of our future generations do not have to suffer and struggle with the back and forth chaoticness of every layer of what we deal with nowadays, right? Like, we want better for our future. We want better for humanity. And that means breaking the broken cycles that we are currently in, whatever that is for you. And so when I lost my place for a second, sorry, I do that, guys. You just got to bear with me, because I found it, but it didn't make sense. And it was like the trick, though, because I kind of went off topic for a second. I didn't go off topic. I went on my own little leisurely stroll with my words. But anyways, the trick is that something in the medical industry or the pharmaceutical companies probably may not like me saying currently at this time, is that the majority of external remedies are meant to be used temporarily. They are Band-Aids. They are temporary relief. And when you take them away, the problem can still exist underneath. What we actually want to do is teach our bodies to naturally function without them. Learn from them. Let the herbs and medicines be teachers, not permanent crutches. I have absolutely used a pharmaceutical drug on my journey. Now, they wanted to put me on one for the rest of my life, and I said absolutely not. And that's when I started reaching for remedies that did not try to bondage themselves to me in the long run. I wanted something that was going to be healing, like truly healing, right? Like I wanted it to be healing on every single level. I didn't want it to just look like surface healing where it took away my symptoms daily and I still had to take a pill. However, there's other times that I have taken a pill to help rewire my brain, right? Like, the whole intention of me taking an anti-anxiety medicine was to feel what it was like to have a calm state of mind, because that was unfamiliar for me. I hadn't felt it maybe in all of my life, or at least not since I was a young child. And so that lit up pathways for my mind to be able to carve them out on its own. So again, temporary. Our bodies, our minds, everything is ever learning, and we can teach our bodies and our minds to learn in the way that we need them to help healing. And, if this resonates with you, heck yeah. If it doesn't, take what you need and leave the rest. Always remember that. And so what we actually want to do is teach our bodies to naturally function without them, learn from them, let the herbs and medicines be teachers, not permanent crutches, right? I personally prefer organic, especially after you're going to be on an anti-cancer drug the rest of your life. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm in my 30s and that's never going to happen, especially with all the side effects that it causes. So I looked for other doorways, and I looked for them and I believed in them and they opened. And So I personally prefer organic, natural approaches over anything synthetic. However, if I got to, I got to, right? Like, I'm okay with that because in a non-dual world, I have to understand that they both can serve me in a way when I need them to. I believe there's a way to find what works for you and whatever it is that you may be facing. It's not about throwing away all forms of help. It's about using support as a bridge, not as the foundation. Because ultimately, your body holds an intelligence far beyond anything that we can produce externally. Your body is the original pharmacy. And the more we honor that, the more we step into true sovereignty over our health and healing. And eventually, what if the medical industry is something we no longer needed because we've reactivated and remembered or retaught our bodies to heal internally, and the work we do mentally transforms the way we think, speak, and act to where the reduction of dis-ease is quantified all together? That's a future I'd be happy to live in. So I invite you, I really, really invite you to slow down just for a moment, maybe even close your eyes if it's safe to do so, and feel into this with me. What beliefs are you still carrying that hold you back from full healing? The ones that whisper you're not worthy, that healing is for someone else, that you're the exception to the miracle. Can you see them? Can you hold them in the light, even for a moment? What fears are still shaping your cells in the dark? Those quiet, hidden stories. The I'm not good enough. I'll never get better. What if I disappoint everyone? Feminine rage. Being broken. Masculine angst. Can you let those beliefs rise without needing to fix them in this moment? Just meeting them, just witnessing. And where can you be more faithful to your own medicine, your own inner pharmacon? What would it feel like to trust your body as the ultimate healer, your mind as a sculptor, your soul as the original architect? What if you began treating your cells like the sacred, intelligent beings they are? I invite you to journal on this, or simply breathe with it. Speak to your cells tonight as you drift to sleep, as if they are your beloved children, because in so many ways, they are. And they will listen, and they will respond. This is the beginning of a new relationship, a new covenant with yourself, one of reverence, curiosity, and radical faith in your own design. And if you're feeling called to truly dig into your own belief systems, ones that may be the supporting factors behind any form of dis-ease that you or your family members may suffer from, the silent architects behind your health, your emotions, and your life experiences, there's a body of work that I do deeply recommend. Dr. Michael J. Lincoln, often known as the Truth Doctor or Dr. Truth, dedicated his life to uncovering and documenting the deep psychological and spiritual roots behind our physical, emotional, and behavioral patterns. With a background in both psychology and spirituality, he spent decades researching the connection between mind, body, and spirit. His work is all about illuminating the unconscious programs and hidden emotional contracts that shape our lives and even our bodies. Dr. Lincoln's research integrates clinical psychology, ancient spiritual teachings, and metaphysical principles. He believed that by understanding the why behind our conditions, we reclaim the power to transform them. Over many years, he compiled a vast collection of insights, not just from his own clinical practice and personal study, also from extensive spiritual and esoteric research. His approach reveals that every symptom and every recurring life pattern is a message, a mirror, and ultimately an opportunity for liberation. He brought all this together in 3 incredible books that I consider a powerhouse trio for any healing journey, and he's written plenty more other than them as well. The first one is Messages from the Body. This is the cornerstone text, often described as an encyclopedia of the metaphysical meanings behind physical conditions. With over 2,000 entries, Messages from the Body dives deep into diseases and symptoms, revealing their psychological and spiritual roots. It doesn't just tell you what's happening. It guides you into the emotional and mental dynamics that may have created the condition in the first place. It helps you see your body as a messenger, not something to fight against, something to listen to and learn from. Book number 2, Addictions and Cravings. This book focuses specifically on the deeply rooted patterns of addiction. With almost 1,500 entries, it unpacks the hidden emotional drivers behind substance abuse, compulsive behaviors, food cravings, codependent relationships, and more. Dr. Lincoln shows us that addictions are often coping mechanisms developed to protect us from unprocessed pain or unmet emotional needs. By understanding the underlying beliefs and emotional wounds that fuel these cravings, we can begin to unravel them and create real, lasting change. And book number 3, Allergies and Aversions. In this book, Dr. Lincoln explores the psychological and energetic dynamics behind the 300 most common allergies today, with almost 500 entries in total. He helps us understand that allergies and aversions are not just random biological glitches. They can be the body's way of expressing internal conflicts, deep fears, or suppressed traumas. This book provides a profound lens for seeing sensitivities and reactions as reflections of deeper psycho-spiritual dynamics. These 3 books together are more than reference manuals. They are spiritual roadmaps. They invite you into a deeper relationship with your own body, mind, and soul. And we may be exploring them more in detail in future episodes because they probably do deserve their own dedicated exploration. However, for now, I just want you to know these resources exist and they can become powerful companions on your path to self-healing and self-realization. I also would like to put a disclaimer here before I close this podcast out. And I'll also include an affiliate link in the descriptions for these books and just for Dr. Lincoln's work that I'm speaking on. I want to say that I understood the concept of having a body that self-heals itself. However, it doesn't mean that I go 0 to 100, right? Like I don't just be like, oh, my body can self-heal, I'm canceling everything else out. There are phases and there are layers in everything that we do. So please be extremely mindful of the choices that you make and just know, again, that I am not a medical professional by any means, as I say at the beginning of every episode. And that if you are seeking medical attention or medical information or anything medically related, you need to seek it from a licensed professional. I am speaking from someone as an energetic standpoint, experience firsthand, because I have healed my body from things that I was told would never happen. And I'm also working on autoimmune currently, and I am having tremendous success with everything that I am doing. And again, this is through sometimes trial and error and finding out what works for me and walking away from what doesn't. And all of our paths are uniquely divine. I believe 100% that we will become a human race one day that can heal ourselves from all ailments to the point where eventually we don't have ailments. However, we are in this cross-transference like state of being where we're entering into these new dynamics. And so therefore, those types of things need to be met with caution in the sense of how you approach them. I am not responsible for any decision that any listener makes. And by listening to this podcast, you understand that fully, and you know and have accountability in any decisions you make when it comes to your body, your mind, any diseases or diagnosis or anything like that. And so, I've heard horror stories when people start speaking out about being able to heal their own bodies, or amazing individuals that have helped other people completely heal with no medical, with no proceeds going back into the medical industry, right? Like not feeding their business plan or their business agenda, because if humanity stops getting sick, then the medical industry dies, right? And everybody, in the people in the medical industry obviously think that's like, oh my God, what would happen? We would lose everything, da 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 da. The reality of it is we would expand beyond that. And I think that anybody that looks at the medical industry as a business model, okay, let me put it this way. Anybody that is in the medical industry that looks at it as a business model, that thinks that we need to keep ailments alive to keep the medical industry alive, is short-sighted. They do not understand how expansive we are as a human race and how sovereign we are and what we could do if we allow ourselves to move past it. So I will leave that there and leave it at that for today. I'll be providing a direct link to Dr. Lincoln's publications in the podcast description so you can explore these works for yourself and learn more about him and what he has to offer on your healing journey. The link in the description is an affiliate link, which means when you purchase through it, I will receive a 10% commission of your total. I want to thank you in advance for using that link and for supporting the work of both Hermetically Speaking and Dr. Lincoln's in such an intentional way. I am a firm believer and supporter of Dr. Lincoln's work. The fact that he offers such a public affiliation program is, to me, a beautiful example of open energy exchange, which I honor wholeheartedly. I want to thank you for exploring this sacred territory with me today. I hope you continue to explore it further on your own, tapping into your own innate and beautiful frequencies, however that looks for you moving forward. Until next time, may your faith be your greatest medicine. May your fears become your greatest teachers, and may your Creatrix guide you back to your original wholeness. And as always, there will be a meditation following this up on Friday. And in the meantime, feel free to reflect on some of those journal prompts, and of course, an energy therapy session on Monday. Thank you so much. Namaste, you beautiful, beautiful souls, and many blessings on your way. Remember, you are the temple. You are the flame. You are the frequency. Let us find each other in harmony. If this episode spoke to your soul, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our new YouTube home at A Spiritual World. That's A Spiritual World. Your support not only fuels the Hermetically Speaking podcast, it also nurtures the growing library of meditations, energy therapies, readings, and transmissions I offer to help us all walk this healing path together. Your presence, your listening, your evolution. They ripple out farther than you may ever realize. Thank you for being here. Thank you for becoming who you truly are. Until next time, keep speaking the truth your soul remembers. Namaste, and many blessings on your way.